So welcome. Today we're going to discuss the lecture number 5, derivation of consistent mass matrix for truss and beam elements. So let us consider the simple truss element, and it has a two nodal point, nodal point 1 and nodal point 2. So at nodal point 1, let us assume that it has a x directional displacement u1 and y directional displacement v1. Similarly, at nodal point 2, let us assume that in x direction it has a u2 displacement, and y directional it has a v2 displacement. So this is uh, a simple truss element having a two nodal point, and each nodal point having a 2 degrees of freedom. Why? Because this truss element we consider it as a inclined member. So if you consider that it as an inclined member, it is possible to resolve the each and every nodal point into x directional displacement as well as a y directional displacement. Similarly, at nodal point 1, 2 also, nodal point 2 is also inclined nodal point. So it is possible to derive that in x directional displacement as well as a y directional displacement. So keeping in this point of view, then let us define the what is a displacement, the global displacement in x direction as well as a y directional. So it can be considered that in x directional, it is possible to say that n1 u1 plus n2 u2. So where n1 and n2 are the two shape function. Why? Because there are the two nodal points in the truss members. So therefore, the total number of shape functions existing in truss member would be the n1, n2. So therefore, it is possible to define that the displacement in x direction can be n1 u1 plus n2 u2. Similarly, the displacement in y direction function can be defined as n1 v1 plus n2 v2. And you can write down these two linear function into a matrix form. If you write down these two linear equation into a matrix form, it is possible to write down that uv is equal to n1 0 n2 0 0 n1 0 n2 into the column matrix that is called u1 v1 u2 v2. So this is called as a displacement matrix, and this is called as a shape function matrix. And it is possible to say that the displacement, the global displacement that is called u comma v, that is called u can be written as it is a function of the shape function matrix as well as the nodal displacement. So this already we covered in the last previous units, but anyhow we recall these points in this dynamic analysis. And we already discussed in the last classes how to derive the consistent mass matrix formula. The consistent mass matrix formula for any element can be defined as it is the integral of 0 to length of an element into n transpose into n into rho into a into dx, where n is called as a shape function matrix for the particular element, and rho is equal to density, and a is equal to area, and dx is equal to small elemental length. So this dx can also, it is dx is nothing but it is in the global coordinate system. This global coordinate system can convert into the local coordinate system. The dx can be written as L by 2, length of an element by 2 into d zeta. Why? Because if you consider this truss as a one-dimensional element, it is possible to define that nodal point 1 is equal to zeta is equal to -1, at nodal point 2 is equal to zeta is equal to +1. Why? Because always we consider that the displacement matrix in the direction of the element. So this is the inclined member. So therefore, if you consider in the direction of element, the truss can be treated as a one-dimensional element. So therefore, it is possible to write that dx is equal Le by 2 into d zeta. Substituted here, and then we can write this as a integral of -1 to 1. Why? Because of -1 to 1, because the d zeta that is equal zeta can be varying from the -1 to +1. This is the limits of the local coordinate system or natural coordinate system, -1 to 1, n transpose into n into rho into a Le by 2 into d zeta. So this is a modified consistent mass matrix for the truss element. So just you have to take the constant outside of the integration, that is called rho into a into Le by 2. And therefore, it is possible to write that integral of -1 to 1 n transpose into n into d zeta. Here, n transpose can be written as this is a n matrix that is called shape function matrix. If you do the transpose of this n, then it is possible to write that n1 0 0 n1 n2 0 0 n2. And similarly, the n can be written as n1 0, n2 0, 0 n1, 0 n2 into d zeta. Now let will do the multiplication of n transpose on n. Once you do the multiplication, then it is possible to write the matrix that is equal. It is a 4 by 2 matrix into the 2 by 4. So 4 by 2 into 2 by 4 will become the 4 by 4. The 4 by 4 matrix obtained here, n1 square 0, n1 n2 0, and 0 n1 square 0, n1 n2, n1 n2 0, n2 square 0, and 0 n1 n2 0, n2 square of d zeta. And this should be integral with respect to -1 to 1. So where the n is called as a n1 n2, and the n1 can be defined as in terms of the natural coordinate system, that is equal to the 1 minus zeta by 2. Similarly, n2 can be defined as 1 plus zeta by 2. Then now we need to be substitute this n1 is equal 1 minus zeta by 2, n2 is equal 1 plus zeta by 2 into above matrix. Then need to be do the integration with respect to the -1 to 1 with respect to the d zeta, and put down the limits as a -1 to 1. Therefore, we'll see that the how to do the integration. So here the n1 into n1, that is equal, the first element is equal to n1 square, that it can be written as n1 into n1, that can be written as 1 minus zeta by 2 into 1 minus zeta by 2. That is possible to say that 1 minus zeta by 2 whole square into d zeta. If you do the integration with respect to d zeta and put down the -1 to 1 as the limits, we'll going to get the 2 by 3 is the value. Similarly, let us do the integration of the n1 and n2 with a limits of -1 to 1 and with respect to d zeta. Once you do the with respect to d zeta, therefore n1 into n2 can be written as 1 minus zeta by 2 into 1 plus zeta, that can be written as 1 minus zeta square by 4. If you do the integration with respect to d zeta and put down the limits as a -1 to 1, then we'll get the value of 1 by 3. Similarly, we can obtain the n2 square. The n2 square can be obtained at 2 by 3. So let us substitute into this equation. Then it is possible to write down the rho a L by 2 as a constant, and n1 square is equal to 2 by 3, and 0 is as 0, n1 n2 is equal to 1 by 3 and 0 and 0, and then n1 square can be written as 2 by 3. The next element would be the 0, and n1 n2 is equal to the 1 by 3. And similarly, the third row would be the n1 n2 is equal to 1 by 3, and next element is 0, and n1 square 2 by 3, and last element is equal to 0. And the last row 0, n1 n2 1 by 3, and 0 is there, and n1 n2 square is equal to 2 by 3. So finish this one, and let us take the common as a 1 by 3. If you take the common 1 by 3 from this matrix, it is possible to write that the consistent mass matrix for the truss is equal to rho a into L by 6, and 2 0 1 0 0 2 0 1, and 1 0 2 0 0 1 0 2. This is called as a consistent mass matrix for the truss element. And let us see that consistent mass matrix for the beam element also. So here in the beam element, if you consider the beam element as having the two nodal point, so let us say that this initial point as a 1 and final point that is called end point as a 2. So in the beam, it is a 2 degree of nodal point, each and every nodal point having the 2 degree. So how it has a 2 degree? It has a linear displacement as well as angular displacement. Linear displacement, let us say that v1, and angular displacement, let us say theta 1. At nodal point, let us say this is a nodal point 2. It has a linear displacement v2. It has angular displacement theta 2. So this is a each and every nodal point in the beam element having a 2 degree of freedom. Therefore, it is possible to write down that at nodal point 1, it has a linear as well as angular displacement. At nodal point 2, it has a linear as well as a angular displacement. So it is possible to write down that the displacement function. Okay, so it is possible to write down the displacement function. So here it is possible to write down that v can be write as n1 v1 plus n2 theta 1 plus n3 v2 plus n4 theta 2. So this is a possible displacement function that can be write down for the beam element. So by using this displacement function, if you write down in terms of the matrix form, let us assume this as a linear equation and convert this linear equation into the matrix form. Therefore, it is possible to write down the displacement of v1 theta 1 v2 theta 2 and this is a shape function matrix that is called n1, n2, n3, n4. So this is in the form of the matrix form, and it can be simplified that it is a function of the shape function matrix as well as a nodal displacement. And let us recall the consistent mass matrix that is called ME is equal integral of length 0 to LE n transpose into n into rho into A into dx. So apply this consistent mass matrix formula for the beam also. So here rho, the dx can be replaced with respect to L by 2 into d zeta. Substitute here and rewrite this integral equation minus 1 to 1 rho A L by 2 n transpose into n into d zeta. See here, there are the two formulas. This formula is belongs to the global coordinate system, and that can be transferred into the natural coordinate system formula. So minus 1 to 1 would be the limits which will be belongs to the natural coordinate system. That's why it is very important to convert the local coordinate system formula into the global coordinate system. If you convert into the local global coordinate system to the local coordinate system, the integration will be very easy and we're going to obtain the values very easily. Now, see here, the n matrix would be the n1, n2, n3, n4, and if you do the transpose, therefore the row matrix becomes the column matrix. Therefore, here the column matrix into the row matrix into d zeta, the constants are rho A L by 2. Let us take the constant outside of the integral and put down the integration minus 1 to 1 n transpose into n. So here n transpose becomes that the 4 rows and 1 column, 4 by 1, and here it is a 1 by 4. So if you do the multiplication of n transpose into n, therefore 4 by 1 into 1 by 4 become the 4 by 4. So you'll get the value of the n1 square, n1, n2, n1, n3, n1, n4, n1, n2, n2 square, n2, n3, n2, n4, and n1, n3, n2, n3, n3 square, n3, n4, n1, n4, n2, n4, n3, n4, n4 square. This is a 4 by 4 matrix. Once you do the multiplication of the 4 by 1 into 1 by 4, you will get the 4 by 4 square matrix. And this matrix we should be integrated with respect to the d zeta and put down the minus 1 to 1 as a limits. So where the shape function n1 can be, let us recalling from the beam, the shape function n1 can be written as 1 by 4th of 1 minus zeta square into 2 plus zeta. Similarly, shape function n2 can be written as 1 by 4 1 minus zeta square into zeta plus 1. Similarly, n3 can be written as it is equal to the 1 by 4 into 1 plus zeta square into 2 minus zeta. And need to be write down the shape function n4 can be 1 by 4 1 plus zeta square into zeta minus 1. These are the shape function values, or we can say Hermite shape function values, that are obtained in the beam chapter. So from the beam chapter, recalling that the shape function formulas in terms of the natural coordinate system. And if you do the integration of this with respect to the d zeta, then and put down the minus 1 to 1, then you will get obtain the values. So n1 square means you should do the square of this one and do the integration of that thing and put down the minus 1 to 1. So once you do the integration of this one, then once you completed the 4 by 4 integration with respect to d zeta and put down the minus 1 to 1, then you will get the value of the consistent mass matrix for the beam element would be equal to rho A L by 420 into the 4 by 4 matrix would be the 156 into 22L and 54 minus 13L, 22L, 4L square, 13L minus 13 minus 3L square, 54, 13L, 156 minus 22L, 13L and minus 3L square minus 222L 4L square. This is a 4 by 4 matrix once you completed the integration with respect to d zeta and put down the minus 1 to 1 limits. Okay. Now let us recalling that some of the formulas related to the lumped mass matrix. Till now we have completed that the consistent mass matrix for the truss, bar element as well as a beam element. So let us see that what is the lumped mass matrix for the bar element, for the truss element and for the beam element. So here I put down the direct formulas for the lumped mass matrix. Let us try to recalling this for a lumped mass matrix for a bar element. So for bar element, the lumped mass matrix can be defined as a rho A L by 2 into 1001. Similarly, for the truss, it can be written as the lumped mass matrix would be equal rho A L by 2 100 0100 0010 0, 0, 0, 1. And similarly for beam, the lumped mass matrix can be defined as a rho A L by 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So these are the very, very important formulas for doing that, for solving the problems. So thank you.